Hello, and welcome to Hello Heroes, the show where the moderators talk about whatever we want, and you guys listen. Today I'm joined by my boy Andis.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
And two new voices to the podcast, V2 Blast.
Hey, what up?
And Okkefac.
Hello, everybody.
Glad to have you guys with me. Let's jump right in. So, Andis, what was your last summon?
So I pulled on the Blade banner, and I really wanted Tharja. I don't have Tharja yet. So I used my free summon, and I got no red orbs because the game hates me. So I decided to pull green for Nino, because Nino is obviously better than Odin. And I got Barst. I should know better.
No better indeed. What about you, V?
Well, I don't remember what I was trying to summon, but, I think I was going for something green, because my last three summons were Barst, Church, and Gunter.
Were you doing it for the Hero Fest?
I don't think so. I don't even remember which one it was.
How can you not remember?
I mean, it was several days ago, so.
Oh, I understand. And what about you, Okkefac?
Well, the most recent summon was a 3-star Virion, because of course. And, well, I'm just summoning a green orb now. Here's hoping for Amelia, and it's a 4-star Merrick.
Ouch. That hurt me.
Actually, I think that might have been what I was going for, Amelia.
I actually really like Merrick as a character, so I'm not actually too bothered, weirdly.
Okkefac, why don't you tell the fans, the listeners right now, how many orbs do you have right this second?
1! Yeah.
I could never do it. I could never do that to myself. Oh, wow.
And I'm gonna go several days with only 1.
My most recent summon was on the Blade Tome banner, my free summon. Came out as a Celica. Ooh, I think it's minus resistance plus defense? But look, I'm not even mad. Actually, I like that a lot. I wanted Celica more so than Tharja. And here I am rocking a Celica now. Can't touch me. Can't tell me nothing. I'm having a good day. So let's go ahead and get right into these topics. I want to start by talking to the new voices, specifically UV. How many subreddits do you moderate?
Well, let's see. The exact number is pretty high.
Don't be ashamed.
Let me see. When I look at my profile page while logged out, it shows me, 4 other subreddits in Fire Emblem Heroes, and it says ... and 112 more.
How did you come into so many subreddits?
Most of them, I kind of just asked to be added. Some of them, they asked me. But a lot of them are for TV shows, some anime, that there was a community there, but the mod wasn't really that active. So I was hoping that I asked to be made a mod there so I could kind of spruce it up a bit.
I understand. And what's something you like about Fire Emblem Heroes in particular compared to the other hundreds of subreddits you moderate?
Well, I really enjoy the community. It's pretty laid back, and, there's a lot of funny stuff posted to the subreddit.
So, are you between Andis and myself, or are you closer to Czech? Czech will actively, post memes to the subreddit. Do you dislike the memes, or are you indifferent?
I kind of dislike the memes, mostly because a lot of them are, to be fair, kind of low effort. But some of them are really clever, and I enjoy that.
And is that a thing you would say you dislike about the sub? Just completely, you just don't like the memes?
Well, I wouldn't say I completely dislike them, but, I prefer the stuff that takes a little more effort to make.
I can understand that. And same questions to you, Okkefac. Do you moderate any other subreddits?
Well, one of the reasons why I became a moderator of the Fire Emblem Heroes subreddit is because I also moderate the Fire Emblem subreddit. So that's the kind of main one that I really moderate. I moderate some of the smaller ones, like the Tokyo Mirage Sessions one. Okay, I'm just a massive Fire Emblem nerd.
We're all nerds, trust me.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, not me. I'm clever and handsome, so I'm not really a nerd, but that's not knocking anyone else here. No, I'm playing with you. What do you like about Fire Emblem Heroes compared to, Fire Emblem as a subreddit?
Everyone is really nice, and they're also willing to like help each other. Like, well, I've asked plenty of questions myself because I'm an absolute noob, and everyone's very quick to be helpful, and it's just so kind of wholesome. A lot of the time, no one's really mean to each other. You don't get that much on the Fire Emblem sub, but I think you get it a bit more there than you do on the Fire Emblem Heroes sub. And everyone just seems to genuinely enjoy what they're doing, which is really nice.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing because I'm also a mod of our Fire Emblem. I really like the community of the Fire Emblem Heroes subreddit. They're very helpful, and whenever you have a question, there's always a couple people willing to weigh in, help you figure out a strategy or whatever.
I have one more question that I didn't ask to you, Okkefac. As a girl, how do you feel about being on like an anime-esque sub like Fire Emblem Heroes, where sometimes these guys get a little perverted?
Like, it bothers me, but I don't know if that's because I'm a girl or just because I don't like that kind of content in general.
Oh, it bothers me too. Yeah, I can't stand it.
It's just really kind of creepy when the main important thing is, oh hey, let's look at this anime girl's boobs.
Do you know how many posts I removed like that? I think I removed so many.
Nobody talks about my Camilla that way. Nobody.
See, do you remember back in the days whenever, what was it, the Bunny Camilla was the worst art in the game? Like, we were so innocent, we didn't know.
Yeah, those were the days.
Those were the good days.
Oh, well. And is that something, I'm gonna ask you, if something you dislike about our Fire Emblem Heroes, is that what you would say? How creepy the guys can be sometimes?
That is probably my absolute least favourite part, yeah. And the fact that we had to ban, like, problematic comments, it's like, we really had to go that far? It was that big of a problem in the first place? Thankfully, it's because we banned those types of comments, it's gone down a lot, but yeah, that's easily my least favourite part, but thankfully it's not horribly common.
So, ever since I started this podcast, a lot of people were asking me, could you put it on this platform, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube? Some of those require money, like you gotta pay to get in, like on SoundCloud. You have a storage size limit, and I think you gotta pay to get in on Spotify as well, or from what I could tell when I was looking into it. But it's free to get on the YouTube, and I found the way that I could put the podcast on YouTube with very minimal effort on my end, you know, just for accessibility. The idea whenever I started the podcast was that I wanted a way for the moderators, even the ones that don't comment very often, to interact with the sub and, you know, talk. The whole point is to be a community guide or conversationalist piece. You know, just the mods making content much like anyone else would. And it kind of spun a bit further than I thought it would, because then I put it on YouTube, and people were asking, they started subscribing and sending me private messages about things that they can expect to see as a subscriber to the YouTube channel. And I didn't actually plan on putting any content, so while we're on the podcast now, I wanted to ask each of you what you thought about the possibility of maybe doing other kinds of content on YouTube. I'll start with you, Andis.
To be honest with you, it's kind of silly. Like, there's a lot of like the obvious stuff that people want to see, right? Like the guides. But I think it would kind of be wrong of us to take guides that people make from the subreddit and post them to the sub. Or not to the sub, but to the YouTube using somebody else's guide. But what I actually did think of is, if you've ever seen any of those YouTube channels like dedicated to like opening packs of Pokemon cards, like we could legitimately, if we were just gonna dump our orbs, just record doing it. Like, people might enjoy watching that. I don't know. That's the best I've got.
Yeah, just turn it into an unboxing channel.
It's gonna be great content.
I don't know. I already don't like summoning, and you're trying to put pressure on me by doing it in front of people?
I mean, one of us has over 200 orbs. I'm not going to name any names, but...
It's over 500. Don't shortchange me. It's 530 something. I think 38. I don't ever summon. You're judging me. Stop it. I don't like being judged. Some of us have weak wheels. My heart, it beats too fast. We've been over this.
But if someone's willing to give me a bunch of orbs, I'd happily open them on camera.
That's another thing someone was asking about, the possibility of monetizing videos on YouTube and then giving out gift cards, like buying like iTunes gift cards and using them as giveaway or contest material. What do you think about that?
To kind of give back to the community. That'd be quite nice, like giving them away in giveaways, and it would also again give us another way to be able to communicate with the subreddit and make our own like little nice mod giveaways.
See, the problem I have with that is like, I don't know. At that point we start kind of getting into this, I don't know, kind of dirty feel where it's like, should moderators be?
It gets a little bit messy when you start doing that. Like, you never know when somebody's gonna. I don't think any of us would do this, but you know, there are people out there who would use this as a way of, hey, I'm gonna make $100 worth of monetization, but I'm gonna only give 5 of it back. Like, there's not a good way to be transparent about that, and I don't.
Well, I think there is. With YouTube analytics, I think you can take screenshots of the kind of monetization you get per videos, and if we were really open about it, maybe we could get away with something like that. It ultimately depends on how much the community is willing to trust us. I don't know. We're talking about it on the podcast, so maybe people will comment about the possibility of doing giveaways and monetization. If we did monetize it, it would allow me to put it on Spotify. But I'm not particularly excited to do that anyway. I'm not trying to like brand the subreddit to people who don't know about it and they find it through the podcast. So I don't really care about getting on a whole bunch of platforms to try to get as much exposure as possible. I just wanted it to be accessible to the people of the sub. What do you think, V?
Yeah, I mostly agree with you. You know, it's nice to have that chance to give back to the community, but then again, there's that question of trust and would it feel sketchy to them? Would they feel okay with us, you know, monetizing these and then kind of putting that back into the podcast or the community or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas for videos, V? Any other kind of content besides the podcast or summoning sessions?
I mean, I don't have any specific ideas, but again, what we could do is, you know, whoever's listening to this podcast can weigh in the comments or whatever and let us know if they have any good suggestions for videos or content we can make.
And finally, you, Okkefac, what do you feel about using the YouTube or even making a Twitch channel and doing some live streaming things, the possibilities of using this platform and other platforms for uses outside of the podcast?
Yeah, I think it's, as long as like moderators are willing to do it, it's a pretty nice idea. I kind of like the idea of sort of an analysis of the characters, but that's just because that's what I care about in Heroes, so I doubt other people would, but I think there are plenty of chances to produce other content as well as the podcast. And I think there'll probably be some things that the users could enjoy that we could create ourselves, but it's just something that we'd have to see if we were able to do.
Yeah, my thoughts on the matter is, I don't know, everyone in the community's got their role to play, right? Some people are the guys who trudge through the subs sorted by new, and they're the early influencers, or just they get to decide what will make it to the front. And then we have all the people who go by hot, they just want to see the memes and they reward posts that get to the front. So it's like an exponential increase. So it keeps people motivated to try to make clever or new or interesting or unique content for the sub to, well, read or whatever it is you do with memes. And I feel that our role as moderators, I mean, we're a lot like the guys who go through our new and weed out the good posts and the bad ones, except for we got, I don't know, special powers. We do have special powers. Most of them are lame, but I can ban people. I very rarely need to on our FireEmblemHeroes. Normally it's just I can send a dude a PM like, hey, watch it, and they'll be like, oh, my bad, it won't happen again. And then it won't happen again. So, I mean, I'm not a content creator. I didn't even plan on making this YouTube page, and I only brought it up because someone brought it up to me. Maybe if someone wants to become the free-to-play master and they can start making videos using no skill inherited free units to do like chain challenges and grand hero battles, but outside of that, I'm a little iffy on the whole thing. If you guys got any suggestions, viewers that is, go to the subreddit. You can even send me a DM. I get a lot of private messages. I bet Checkmate gets a lot of username mentions. I bet I get more private messages than him though. So I'll take pride in that. But yeah, you can just comment on a thread or send me a PM. Ideas, I don't know. I'll at least hear them out, but I'm not going to promise that I'll actually act on them.
The one thing I'll add in is when you were talking about Twitch, it's a giant pain to like capture Fire Emblem Heroes gameplay without using an emulator. There's really not a good way to do it.
Nah, because for example, I have the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge Plus. Yeah, I know it's a whole mouthful, but it's got this game launcher thing, and I can do all kinds of things. I just click a button and I can take a screenshot. One of them, I can record. It's a screen cap, It's not an app I downloaded. It came in like the last major update.
The last time I looked into it, because I looked into it when the game first came out, and I was super hyped about it, I could not find a good way to do it.